The most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why my works are like water. The works of the great masters are like wine, but everyone drinks water of all the animals. Man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. Man was made at the end of the week's work when God was tired. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. The noblest work of God. Man who found it out, man. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. The truth must be served like a coat and not thrown in the face like a wet towel. Circumstances make man, not man's circumstances. The average human being is a perverse creature, and when he isn't, that he is a practical joker. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. Clothes make the man naked. People have little or no influence in society. There are no people who are quite so vulgar as the over-refined ones. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and man, concerning the difference between man and the jackass. Some observers hold that there isn't any such as the human race. Often, it does seem such a pity that Noah didn't miss the boat. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great make you feel that you too can become great man, will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. Adam and Eve had many advantages, but the principal one was that they escaped teething. Some civilized women would lose half their charm without dress, and some would lose all of it. One frequently only finds out how really beautiful a beautiful woman is after considerable acquaintance with her. There is only one good sex. The female one. It takes much to convince the average man of anything, and perhaps nothing can ever make him realize that he is the average woman's inferior. No civilization can be perfect until exact equality between men and women is included. Take any type of woman, and you will find in it something to respect, something to admire, something to love. We lavish gifts upon children, but the most precious gift, our personal association, which means so much to them, we give grudgingly. A baby is an inestimable blessing and bother. After all these years, I see that I was mistaken about Eve in the beginning. It is better to live outside the garden with her than inside it without her. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. You can't reason with your heart. It has its own laws and thumps about things which the intellect scorns. No woman or man really knows what perfect love is until they have been married a quarter of a century. Do right, and you will be conspicuous. A man should not be without morals. It is better to have bad morals than none at all. Be good, and you will be lonesome. Better a broken promise than none at all. I am an old man, and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. Then success is sure. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time to get the full value of joy. You must have someone to divide it with. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Virtue has never been as respectable as money. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. A man may have no bad habits and have worse. We can secure other people's approval if we do it right and try hard. But our own is worth 100 of it, and no way has been found out of securing. That always obey your parents when they are present. This is the best policy in the long run. Because if you don't, they will make you. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. When I was a boy of 14, My father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. A sin takes on new and real terrors when there seems a chance that it is going to be found out. The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become in order to make a man or a boy covet a thing. It is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain, only 2 things. We'll regret on deathbed that we are a little loved and little traveled, always acknowledge fault. Frankly, this will throw those in authority off guard and give you an opportunity to make a choice. Conscience takes up more room than all the rest of a person's insides. There are several good protections against temptations, but the surest is cowardice. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you. The rest of the day never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. There are not enough morally brave men in stock. We are out of moral courage material to believe yourself brave is to be brave. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. When people do not respect us, we are sharply offended, yet in his private heart no man respects himself much. Human pride is not worthwhile. There is always something lying in wait to take the wind out of it by trying. We can easily learn to endure adversity. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. The universal brotherhood of man is our most precious possession. What there is of it when I was younger, I could not remember anything whether it had happened or not, but my faculties are decaying now and soon I shall be. So I cannot remember any but the things that never happened. It is sad to go to pieces like this, but we all have to do it. Noise proves nothing often. A hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. Loyalty to petrified opinions never yet broke a chain or freed a human soul. There is no character, however good and fame, but it can be destroyed by ridicule. However poor and witless, the secret source of humor itself is not joy but sorrow. Chastity, it can be carried too far. Modesty died when clothes were born. Honesty, the best of all the lost arts, each race determines for itself what indecencies are. Nature knows no indecencies. Man invents them when angry, count to 4. When very angry, swear. We begin to swear before we can talk in certain trying circumstances, urgent circumstances, desperate circumstances. Profanity furnishes a relief denied. Even to prayer, grief can take care of itself. But to get full value of a joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. Loyalty to country, always loyalty to government when it deserves it. Be careless in your dress if you must, but keep a tidy soul. Prosperity is the best protector of principle. One of the proofs of the immortality of the soul is that myriads have believed in it. They have also believed the world was flat. If I cannot swear in heaven, I shall not stay there. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. It is a wise child that knows its own father, and an unusual one that unreservedly approves of him. The man who was a pessimist before 48 knows too much if he is an optimist. After it, he knows too little at $0. A man can be an ass without being an optimist, but not an optimist without being an ass by land. They're not making it anymore. Pessimist. The optimist who didn't arrive a person with a new idea is a crank. Until the idea succeeds, whatever a man's age, he can reduce it by several years by putting a bright-colored flower in his buttonhole. We have permanent habits until we are 40. Then they begin to harden. Presently, they petrify. Then business begins. We should be careful to get out of and experience only the wisdom that is in it and stop there. Whoever has lived long enough to find out what life is knows how deep a debt of gratitude we owe to Adam, the first great benefactor of our race. He brought death into the world. The lack of money is the root of all evil. When in doubt, tell the truth. All say, how hard is it that we have to die? A strange complaint coming from the mouths of people who have had to live. Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. No real gentleman will tell the naked truth in the presence of the ladies. Honesty is the best policy when there is money in it. Some people lie when they tell the truth. I tell the truth, lying as by the fire of experience. So by commission of crime you learn real morals. I never could tell a lie that anyone would doubt, nor a truth that anyone would believe. An honest man in politics shines more than he would elsewhere when your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look. It's a sure sign you're getting old. A lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting its shoes on. One of the striking differences between a cat and a lie is that a cat has only 9 lives. A truth is not hard to kill. A lie told well is immortal. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. There are 869 different forms of lying, but only one of them has been squarely forbidden. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. I can't stand George Eliot and Hawthorne, and those people. I see what they are at 100 years before they get to it, and they just tire me to death. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. I have made it a rule never to smoke more than 1 cigar at a time. It is the little conveniences that make the real comfort of life. 24 years ago, I was strangely handsome, the remains of it still visible through the rifts of time. To be busy is man's only happiness. The exercise of an extraordinary gift is the supremest pleasure in life. Do not put off till tomorrow what can be put off till day after tomorrow. Just as well, there are people who can do all fine and heroic things, but one keep from telling their happiness to the unhappy against the assault of laughter. Nothing can stand. There is no such thing as a new joke. When red-headed people are above a certain social grade, their hair is auburn. It is human to exaggerate the merits of the dead. The man with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. Thunder is good. Thunder is impressive, but it is the lightning that does the work. I like a good story well told. That is the reason I am sometimes forced to tell them myself. Unexpected money is a delight. The same sum is a bitterness when you expect more youth than you.